Tonight in Minneapolis, thousands have gathered for a vigil at the corner, where a 37-year-old mother of a young child, Renee Good, was shot dead by an ICE agent this morning. This comes just hours after demonstrators marched through the streets to protest the violence that ICE has brought to their city.
We've been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized operations are a threat to our public safety, that someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said exactly that. What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. To Minnesotans, I say this: I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot.
Peggy Flanagan serves as Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota. She's announced she's running for Senate in that state, and she joins me now. Lieutenant Governor, first, let me just get your reaction to both what's happened today, what we've learned about the facts of what's happened, and the way what's happened has been characterized by senior federal officials up to and including the president.
Sure. Well, first of all, I would say that Renee Nicole Good should be alive. She was shot and killed by ICE agents. And I know that folks here are incredibly upset. They're angry. They are peacefully protesting in the streets as we speak, and have just deep heartache. And I am, she had stuffed animals in the car for her child, for her 6-year-old child. And the just lies that are coming out of Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, right? We all can see with our own eyes, with this video, with the eyewitness account from Emily Heller that you just had on your show. It is so clear that ICE being in our community has made us so much less safe. And the fact that they're trying to spin this story is frankly disgusting, and ICE has to get out of Minnesota.
The governor talked today about warning that this would happen, the mayor as well, the unified message, I think, from Democratic officials in the state that I've seen, elected officials, have been for ICE to get out. This is slightly outside of a thing that you have direct control over, but I'm going to ask you whether you think that state law enforcement should pursue investigation and possibly charges of the federal officer who fired 3 or 4 shots point blank and killed a woman.
I think, Minnesotans deserve transparency. They deserve an investigation, and they certainly deserve justice. And so, I fully expect that, the state will pursue that here. And I think they should. What we have all witnessed is horrific. And someone needs to be accountable for what we've seen, and for this woman, Renee Good, who lost her life at the hands of an ICE agent.
We mentioned earlier that this was not that far from where George Floyd was murdered 5 years ago. And I think as we've covered this part of the Trump administration, there's been a palpable sense, sometimes it's almost articulated, that they essentially kind of want a redo of 2020. That they felt they didn't crack enough skulls the first time around. The president, who talked about wanting to shoot protesters multiple times, according to multiple eyewitnesses, but was stopped from making that order, has sort of wanted another crack at it and wanted the Insurrection Act. Are you worried? Are you concerned about what comes next now for your state?
Well, I want to be really clear. What we see happening on the ground right now is a candlelight vigil, is people peacefully marching, nonviolent resistance. And I think that's what we should expect from Minnesotans. And listen, I think it's really interesting, and I say that in the most Minnesotan way possible, that somehow people expected something different from, this second Trump administration. The very first vote out of the gate, out of the second Trump administration, was for the Laken Riley Act, which strips immigrants of due process, which my opponent, Angie Craig, voted for, and also voted to praise ICE this June when ICE was ICE in Los Angeles, terrorizing that community. This is what we've seen. This is, these are folks who are taking American citizens, detaining them, throwing people into the backs of vans, arresting innocent bystanders, and now someone has been killed. ICE is hurting our people, it's hurting our community, and the lies that are being told by Donald Trump and Kristi Noem are unacceptable, and Minnesotans will continue this nonviolent resistance, make our voices heard, and ask others to stand with Minneapolis, stand with Minnesota, and be willing to stand up for the truth and to protect our neighbors.
What would you like to see fellow Democratic leaders not from Minnesota do and say in the aftermath of this?
I want them to call out these lies that are coming from the Trump administration. I want them to call out the fact that, ICE has been given just free rein in our communities. Thousands of officers now in the streets terrorizing our communities, making us absolutely less safe. It is time, and it's not just Democrats. Let's be absolutely clear. This should be a place where your party affiliation should not matter. Stand up, tell the truth, and these masked agents who are coming to our communities and terrorizing people, it's outrageous. And P.S., we come from a state where we lost our amazing leader, Speaker Melissa Hortman, who was taken from us by someone who was posing as law enforcement with their face covered. It's outrageous, and we should do everything to tell the truth and speak out against it and overhaul ICE, overhaul DHS, and eventually bring these folks in front of Congress to say what has occurred under this administration is unconstitutional, and we will not stand for it as Americans.